Good afternoon. Welcome to CoreTV News at this hour. I am Omotayo Alo. President Muhammad Buhari on Friday joined millions of Nigerian Muslim faithful to offer Eid prayers. He was at the Eid ground in Abuja earlier in the day alongside a number of dignitaries, including Senate President Bukola Saraki. In spite of the huge security presence, many people who thronged the Eid ground were not satisfied with having the president in their midst. They attempted to touch him, and it took the intervention and quick thinking of his personal security details to prevent an ugly situation. Few hours after his experience at the Eid ground, President Buhari described it as a reminder that his safety and security is in God's hand. He spoke at his official residence when a delegation of the Muslim community in the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, paid him the traditional Eid al-Fitr homage. Buhari told his guests that he was practically pushed into his car after the crowd of well-wishers nearly overwhelmed the security at the Eid ground.
Well, I thank you most sincerely for fulfilling the traditional greetings for whoever occupies this place. I thank you very much for your loyalty to the country and to our institutions and to the system. Today, during and immediately after the prayers, I think the young men, the youth, almost overwhelmed the security. And I have to hold tight to my gown to get to my car. I was advised to enter from the ADC's seat, and I refused. I went across, tried to raise my hand to the wild youth who wanted to see me. In an occasion like this, it will show that after what happened to late President Reagan, it's only God Almighty that protects leaders. Because in a mob like this, anybody with a sharp knife can get access and do a lot of damage. And so just since 6 in the morning, before I come out, 2 hours later in the rains, cannot protect you. Only God protects. Yeah. I hope God will continue to protect us.
I want to say to all of our Muslim brethren back at the Salah, they want us to live together in peace and wants us to live together in prosperity. The business of government, as Mr. President has said so often, is the protection of lives and property, and to give everybody a good opportunity to live in the way that they wish and to worship God in the way that they wish. I want to say that our country is a great country. It's a country that has such incredible potential, and all that we are required to do is contribute our own bit to it, to just make our own contribution to it. It's a country where if we live honestly and we choose to be forthright, in no time at all we will see a great change. And I believe that every one of us, Muslims, Christians, and all men of different faiths, this opportunity that we have is one that we must seize with both hands. The opportunity of a government that is determined to do the right things, to do it carefully, to do it steadily, and to ensure that our country really changes for good.
Lagos State Governor Akinwumi Ambode on Friday joined Muslim faithful to mark the Eid al-Fitr celebrations, just as he called on them to sustain the lessons of the Ramadan fast beyond the season. The governor, who spoke when he hosted scores of Muslims to a feast at the Lagos House Al-Awsa, urged them to imbibe the tenets of the season and ensure it reflects in their daily activities. He reiterates the lessons of Ramadan, which especially is peace, and thereby urged the public to remain peaceful and eschew vices by remaining steadfast in the journey to making Lagos State a better place for all. Earlier, in our welcome address, First Lady of Lagos State, Bolanle Ambode, expressed her appreciation for the support given to the present administration so far, just as she appealed for more cordial relationship being enjoyed in the state. As Muslims world over mark the end of fasting period, the immediate past governor of Ogun State, Gbenga Daniel, has urged adherents of the faith to keep with the virtues gained during the Ramadan period, which include piety, patience, tolerance, perseverance, humility, self-denial, and service to humanity. In his Eid al-Fitr message to the people of Ogun State, Daniel tasked Muslim faithful in the state to embrace the spirit of love, forgiveness and brotherhood preached by Islam and all the religions. While congratulating Muslims in the state on the successful observation of the holy month, he implored the people to celebrate the Eid al-Fitr with moderation and in the spirit of Ramadan, which encouraged peace and charity. The former governor condemned the heinous activities of the Boko Haram sect that have sent thousands of people to early graves with impunity. The series of attacks by the group in the holy month of Ramadan is stated were not only appalling, but evil. The atmosphere filled with festivity in observance of Eid al-Fitr, which marks the end of the holy Muslim month of Ramadan, had hundreds gather at the Nasir Lai Fatah Society. Muslims all over the world celebrate Eid al-Fitr festival on Friday after observing 30 days of fasting during the Ramadan period. Our correspondent Adebolu Adebisi was there and filed in this report as presented from our studio.
While delivering a sermon, the missionary of Nasfat, Sheikh Abdullahi Akebode, urged Nigerians to be patient with the present government, saying things would soon get better. He also urged Nigerians to be vigilant and more focused on the issue of insurgency.
Roads and so on. If our people are not disciplined, if our people choose to tread the pathway of corruption, it will be destroyed within a short time. Like a literature book that says the beautiful ones, if the beautiful ones cannot be born now, the ugly one will continue to live on the earth. And when the ugly ones refuse to die, that means that nation is a corrupt nation. So we want the beautiful ones to be born in this nation through the discipline and through the lesson of Ramadan, so that our Nigeria, our country, will be a state of peace and security for everyone.
Still on insurgency, the Publicity Secretary of NASFAT, Banji Busari, dissociates members of Boko Haram from Islam, saying they just use the religion as cover-up.
This insurgency as a nation is for all of us, Christians, Muslims, and every stakeholder to come together and then totally condemn this act that has attempted to wreck the lives of the citizens of this country.
The president of NASFAT, Yomi Bolanriola, urged Muslims to use the lessons of Ramadan to associate with your friends and relatives.
Those who have must give to those who don't have on regular basis. It's not a question of, I gave yesterday, why should I give today? You must give. As long as Almighty Allah continues to provide for you. You are not comfortable until everybody who surrounds you is comfortable. You must love for your neighbors what you love for yourself. These are the lessons of Ramadan.
As Nigerians bask in the euphoria of the festive period, all voices resonate towards love for one another.
In the spirit of Eid al-Fitr, CoreTV News visited the prayer ground at Omole. The message of the cleric was clear as it calls on Muslim faithful to give praise to Almighty Allah for the successful completion of the 30 days fasting period. He further spoke. What's your problem? What's your problem? Why do you have to make me look that?
It is not everybody that starts this fasting ends it. So you need to give thanks to Almighty Allah that you have been counted among those that started and ends the fasting. So that is the reason why today is very much important. It's very much important to all Muslims.
Security in the country that the shady act of Boko Haram is being instigated by people and not in line with the tenets of Islam, while insisting that the change
So when
Nigerians
we talk of change, the security, insecurity, we're talking of this Boko Haram or all the rest. Some people are behind this kind of a shady deals. They need to change and fear God. It is when we change that is the time Almighty Allah will change to us. So we need to change ourselves, change our behavior, bad behavior, from fornicating, backbiting, stealing, killing, corruption, and all that.
In celebration of Eid al-Fitr, Muslim Ummah in Ekiti State have been advised to imbibe the lessons learned during Ramadan in order to remain steadfast in faith. The Grand Imam of Ekiti State sues for peace among other areas of improving in their life standard. Rashid reports from Ado Ekiti.
As Muslims across the world celebrate Eid al-Fitr, Ekiti Muslims are not left out. The grateful residents thank God for a successful 30-day fasting period, as the feat is said to be most possible due to the peaceful nature of Ekiti State.
Thank God that we live in peace in the whole Ekiti State. We thank the government of the day for that. We thank all the Muslim women.
We are staying from all evil things, and we were very conscious of the heaven.
While the Imam of Ado Ekiti, Sheikh Jamiu Keulere, urged Nigerians to live in unity, Muslim Ummah are advised to continually imbibe the lessons learned during Ramadan.
During the Ramadan period, there are many pious things that we are doing, that good deed, alms giving, very trustful, charity givings. Those good attitudes, I advise all Muslims to be punctual on it, even after the finish of Ramadan, so that we can be under these good actions till the next Ramadan.
The 30 days fasting of Ramadan might have come and gone, but the lessons learned in it and those good deeds which were done in it are expected to be extended to months which are not even Ramadan. These are the things expected of Muslim Ummah across the world, and this will in no doubt make the world a better place to live if all things shared during Ramadan are shared after, and all good deeds picked up during Ramadan are done even much after Ramadan. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado Ekiti.
You're still watching CoreTV News at this hour. We'll go for a short break and we'll be right back.
This is what the people are saying.
You don't run a big economy with generator. They need to do more in terms of energy and power.
Many things to do for this Nigeria about lights, water, and new TT.
For Nigerians that are not gullible, we know that good laws have done nothing good for this country.
Buhari won the election convincingly.
Talk to our husband that you should keep promise about what you said, and because people are watching you, you know, another election is coming.
Because some people will stand for Yoruba land, will be strong man, you don't die.
This nation is moving forward. The best is going to take place.
The people giving voice to the voiceless.
Welcome back as CoreTV News on the hour. If you've just joined us, of course, for more news and information, do well to visit our social media platform, facebook.com/CoreTV News. You could also follow us and tweet at us at our Twitter handle at CoreTV News NG. Get more information on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/CoreTV. Leave a space and news. The Army authorities have confirmed that 2 female suicide bombers were behind the explosions near the Eid ground in Damaturu, Yobe State. Army spokesman Colonel Sani Usman said in a statement that one of the bombers was a 10-year-old girl. He added that more than 40 people died in the twin explosion at a spot where volunteers were waiting to screen worshippers before entering the Eid ground. The second explosion killed 9 people. About 24 hours lane siege operatives of the Department of the State Service on Friday withdrew from the residence of the immediate past National Security Advisor, Sambo Dansuki. It was learned that the personnel confiscated some vital documents including Dansuki's international passport. The security operatives who stormed Dansuki's Asokoro Abuja residence on Thursday and barricaded the house prevented access to the house and also disallowed the former NSA from observing his religious obligation of attending the Eid prayers, marking the end of the Ramadan fast. It was also learned that the invasion of Dansuki's residence in Abuja and Sokoto had to do with the probe into how the defense budget was spent by the NSA's office under Dansuki's watch. It was earlier reported that the DSS was probing how funds for prosecution of the war against terrorism was managed by the retired colonel who supervised the billions of naira voted for counterinsurgency operations against the violent Boko Haram sect in Northeast. The People's Democratic Party has condemned the Department of State Services over the invasion and occupation of the residence of the former National Security Advisor, Colonel Sambo Dansuki. The National Publicity Secretary of the PDP, Olisa Metu, said the action of the DSS amounted to a violation of the rights of the former NSA and was contrary to the constitution of the country and the tenets of democracy. It stressed that the invasion of the residence of the former NSA was unacceptable in a democratic setting. Mitu made the comment while speaking with journalists at John Kadia Street, Asokoro, residence of Dansuki in Abuja on Friday. He said while Nigerians elected Buhari because they wanted him, the actions of some of his aides were scary to the citizenry as they were taking the country back to the dark days of military dictatorship. President Muhammad Buhari has approved the appointment of Abdullahi Muhammadu as the new Commandant General of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps. Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, disclosed this in a statement issued in Abuja. The new NSCDC boss, who was an Assistant Commandant General before his new appointment, hails from Muye in Lapia local government area of Niger State. The beautification of Owerri appears to be one of the top agenda of Governor Rochas Okorocha. The exercise, which has its slogan as Imo, My Pride, is in no doubt to the well-being of the entire citizen and residents of Imo State. According to the Senior Special Assistant to Governor on Special Duties, Ima Ibediro, confirmed that the exercise may cause some inconvenience, but it is the benefit of the state. Correspondent Ajipati Awofeso, who has been following the event, was at the scene of one of the exercise and filed in this report.
The slogan, Imo My Pride, a beautification of a weary exercise set up by Rochas Okorocha, has been embraced by virtually all in the state. According to the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Special Duties, Ima Ibediro, who is one of the frontliners of the event, affirmed the lasting and desired effect the beautification will achieve.
We are at the Tiger Street Owerri, and we are trying to evacuate the waste that has been sitting here for quite a long time. That's what we are doing. Because all these things are the spirit of our new program, My Pride program, which is to evacuate, to restore the beauty of Owerri as the state capital of the state. And that is a program that is very close to the heart of our government. And that is what we are trying to achieve.
He also spoke about the incident which occurred at the Amausa a day before when the demolition team were there to clear off shanties blocking waterways as ordered by the governor, which left many unhappy.
trying to demolish shops that are obstructing the road around the Konuma. So they were insisting that if we must do that, must also extend it to Amausa. No, but you see, somehow along the line, they were also trying to take laws into their hands. So, and it was resisted. So if you see what happened yesterday, the tractor was, the payloader was almost practically forced to move into Amausa, even when we have not gotten to that extent. That will tell you how the mob reacts. But the most important thing is that the Hausa community was not targeted. Before that thing happened, we have also spoken to the leaders. We have spoken to them, and they agreed to remove the part of Amausa that was obstructing the road. So there was no reason for that action. But you see, when a mob starts reacting, there's nothing you can really do to control it. So my happiness is that the road was quelled, and everybody is moving about peacefully. So there's no more tension around them.
He further reaffirms the commitment of the governor to enforce every last Saturday of the month as a day earmarked for absolute sanitation to keep the state neat and healthy. Ajibade Awofeso, CoreTV News, Owerri.
We take another break now and we'll be back with stories from outside Nigeria. Stay tuned.
Is it crazy or autocracy? Or what type of crazy is that? Except crazy.
News making the headlines.
Black Maria is to carry criminals, treating looters that are in government today.
Sometimes it gets confrontational.
Slap you in the face. Excuse me, don't put words into my mouth. Whatever it is, that will bring our military to disrepute. I said to hell.
On Core Digest.
I want to know why I should be believing them.
Every weekday, we bring all of these together and take them to the court of public opinion.
Everybody have the right in Nigeria.
Where you are the judge.
Welcome back. And from outside Nigeria, the FBI are investigating an attack on 2 military centers in Tennessee by a gunman who killed 4 Marines before being shot dead by police. Mohammed Yusuf Abdulaziz, 24, was named as the man who went on a shooting spree at a recruitment center and the Naval Reserve Center in Chattanooga. Local prosecutors are investigating the attacks as domestic terrorism acts, but the FBI says it has not found any link to international terror groups and is unclear about the gunman's motive. A police officer and the Marine Corps recruiter were injured, along with a female sailor who remains in a serious condition in hospital. President Barack Obama has described the attack as heartbreaking. At least 6 people were killed on Friday in clashes between pro-Islamist protesters and Egyptian police in Cairo. Supporters of the ousted Islamist President Mohamed Morsi had held small marches after the morning prayers of Eid al-Fitr, which marks the end of the holy Muslim fasting month of Ramadan. Police officials said the protesters attacked security forces stationed in Cairo's Talbiya district near the Giza pyramids, though the health ministry did not give a breakdown of those killed. Pro-Morsi protests have dwindled since his ouster by the military in 2013, which led to a massive crackdown on Islamists that killed at least 1,400 people in street violence. And to sport, Super Eagles coach Sunday Olise will hold talks with goalkeeper and captain Vincent Enyama following the controversy generated after the Super Eagles' 2-0 win over Chad in 2017 African Cup of Nations qualifier in June. Enyama found himself in trouble after criticizing the choice of Kaduna as venue for the game against Chad's Lesau, I beg your pardon. The Super Eagles captain was subsequently issued a query by the Nigerian Football Federation before being subsequently summoned to appear before the Federation's Appeal Disciplinary Committee. Enyama did not attend the hearing, and it has now been speculated that the Lille Osc man may have played his last game for the 3-time African champions following his decision to snub the NFF chiefs. And it's a wrap on CoreTV News at this hour. Thank you so very much for watching. My name is Omotayo Alo.